what's good with everybody? My name is Kimberly. I got some jokes. It's been one hell of a month, man. It has truly been one crazy month. So I wanted to give the update, what's been going on. And I can't help but just realize that there's a lot of fucked up things going on in the world. And last night, or 2 nights ago, I was like, I'm going to change my life around. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to throw out the vape pens, the cigarettes, the ashtray, even the lighters. I threw it all out. And then a couple minutes later, I found myself just rummaging through the garbage again. And actually, this is right where I keep the trash. I keep the trash in my door. And I was like in my foyer. It was like, I don't know, probably like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and I'm just rummaging through the trash, finding my paraphernalia again. And I realized that I am comforted by these substances, and I just found myself rummaging through the trash again, just after I threw everything out and told myself I'm going to become a better person. Like, that was a really quick relapse. That was like 4 hours. It wasn't even 4 hours before I decided that I need comfort via a substance. So I just sat on the floor right here in this foyer smoking that cigarette that I had just fished out of the garbage, and I realized that I am, I'm kind of fucked up, but like in the best ways. Like, everybody else has their own version of fucked up, and like I feel like my version of fucked up, it's not that bad. It could be way worse, and there's a lot going on in the world. So I wonder if anyone else is like giving into these coping mechanisms of substance use and or abuse, and it's like I don't think I can I think we're all like doing our best. And if for me, doing my best is just fishing the cigarette out of the trash and then sitting on my foyer floor after I just made a change to my life. I took out the ashtray again. It was practically like I never even made a choice to become better. But at the end of the day, I'm also like, cool, there's a lot going on. So I'm gonna kind of comfort myself with some of this paraphernalia. And basically, what's going on in the world. There is the threat of President Trump wanting to deploy troops and invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. And that's on my noggin quite a bit. And I couldn't help but read, peek at the news every couple hours, maybe every half hour, maybe every couple minutes. It's not the healthiest to constantly look up the news, but I like to write and to know what's going on. And I couldn't help but read the article where it was talking about Portland, which is my hometown. And they're saying, there's a direct quote from the article. If we don't have to use it, and President Trump is like, if we don't have to use it, then I wouldn't use it. But if you take a look at what's been going on in Portland for a long time now, I mean, that's insurrection. That's pure insurrection. And I was like, what is insurrection? Like, he's gonna think anything's insurrection. Actually, I feel like a little bit of a dumbass for admitting this, but I looked up the definition of insurrection, and I actually still couldn't tell it to you, like, right off the top of my head. But it basically means, I think, when everything's all cattywampus. And I was like, he's gonna consider anything going on in Portland insurrection, and then he's gonna send fucking troops, dude. Like, we're screwed as Americans. I don't know if you know that, but we're fucking screwed. And it's a good time to make jokes, so I will say that. And he's just gonna see one lady standing outside of an ICE detention center, and she's got blue hair, all blue, and the hairiest legs you've ever seen in your life, and she's just very ardently, with fervor and passion, standing outside of the ICE detention center in Portland, and she's like, "Yo estudié español por un año, and I feel really strongly about this. Let them live here." Whatever. She's giving, her opinion and peacefully protesting with hairy legs and blue hair, and then President Trump is gonna get like that 30-second bit of like that girl, and then he's gonna say that's worthy of National Guard. Go ahead and deploy the troops because that girl, she can't. He's gonna send anything to Portland if he's gonna say that's pure insurrection, that girl, like, go ahead and send the troops like now. He's gonna send military force based off of people just practicing their constitutional rights. Like, it's the First Amendment to be able to have the assembly, to the right to assemble, and so and freedom of speech, and so we're in the timeline where things are happening and Americans don't have much control, and it's a good time to make jokes. Did I say that? And basically, that's America. And then I couldn't help but read also in Canada. There's this news article that caught my attention. And this is New York Times. Not that it matters all the way, but some people. In far north Canada, Post isn't just the mail; it's a lifeline. And I was just reading. I was interested. Like, it's talking about how, I guess, in this northwest part of Canada, that's actually more secluded and spread out and remote. They're feeling the concerns that if they don't have their post office, because the post office is on strike in that area, Northwest Canada, like that area, then they're going to have their livelihoods disrupted significantly. And I just think, that's like, they're on strike. Okay, so they must have their reasons, but that would suck. Because if you're up in Canada and the mail you just stopped receiving mail and you're already like Canadian, so I'm like that's already you're 2 for 2 on like life isn't going as great as maybe you thought it could. Like, you're not receiving your mail, you're not getting your Amazon packages, and the post office is on strike. But then I thought about it. If their residents are concerned and they're sharing their opinion that if they don't continue to receive their mail and have access, then their lifeline, they're cut off from their lifeline. So I was like, wow, they're screwed then. They're like literally like the zombie apocalypse comes, they're gonna be the last to know about it, for sure. They're gonna be the last ones to know anything about the zombie apocalypse, and then they're probably gonna be like the last place on Earth, because it's so far away and secluded too, that the zombies come and eat them. But I just imagine there's like this older lady, like old grandma, and she's like coming up and she's like, old grandma lady knocks, and she's like, excuse me, can I please have my lifeline? and then like a zombie just like comes out from the post office and eats her. And so it sucks if you're Canadian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And basically, the past month, Canadians are awesome. I'm just kidding. But you're screwed for the northwest part if you're in that area. Okay. But basically, the past month has been just a severe bout of depression for me personally. And I was looking at my like YouTube studio and my Reddit and stuff, and it said like negative 1.2 views for my YouTube channel, and then like negative 1 subscribers for the past 28 days. And I was like, yep, that checks out. That's about right. Yeah, as long as my career is the same spot as my mental state, which is doom and gloom, then I feel good. it was like that checks out. That makes sense. And depression, it's interesting. Like, sometimes we go through it and we don't know that we're depressed. For me, I don't think I really knew I was depressed until I was like not doing the things that I want to do, except for jacking off. I did manage to find the enthusiasm for that, but like going to work and being a person, or like general keeping up with chores, I lost interest in those activities, but the activity that brings me pleasure, I still found pleasure in. And so luckily enough for me, like, cause some people, like, they get depressed, they can't do any sexual activity, and like that would suck. That would literally. But luckily enough for me, I managed to rewrite the entire alphabet into 26 O's. A to O, and O to Z. So I feel like, really, honestly, if I can level with you, I really feel like I'm one of the lucky ones. Yeah. Depression. It's good. It's at least good in that orgasm department. You know what I'm saying? And being depressed and having people know that you're depressed is interesting too, because I actually went to the store, and this girl who, like, knows me but doesn't really know me, like, she knows more about me from what she's heard than from, like, really knowing me, you know what I'm saying? And she came up to me on the street and she was like, "You're acting different today, and it's different than yesterday, so you're bipolar, right?" And I was like, "Oh, gotcha. Okay, actually, I didn't know, like, my own diagnosis until you told me and clarified. So that's why I was happy yesterday and depressed today. Thank you so much. You just saved me a whole trip to the shrink." Yeah, like, that helps when people come up into the street and they tell you what your mental health diagnosis is. That's when you know, that your neighborhood is probably talking a lot of really nice things about you. So I was like, this is a good time. It's good to be alive. And to top it off, I went into the city, and I was like just having a good day, and then I jumped the turnstile, and then I definitely got caught, and I got written a ticket, and this adds on to the depression bit too a little bit, but it's like a perspective thing, and I realized that it's powerful to shift your perspective. Because I was like, dang it, like, I could see this as something to, like, really get all, like, hot and bothered by and upset. Like, I got the ticket, I had to deal with the police, the humiliation of getting caught, all that's there, like, of course. But then I was like, actually, I am, again, one of the lucky ones, because I got to ride the world's most expensive I got to ride the world's most expensive city transportation system for free for 3 years until I finally got caught. So it's not all that bad. It's not all that bad. Whatever you're going through, keep on going. And the point of this message is to remember that everything in life has to do with keeping your spirits up and jacking off. Thank you so much. My name is Kimberly Ponce. Enjoy your evening.